This week, a look at the reigning kings of the NBA, the Pistons, and the Sacramento Kings, who hope for a crown of their own. Plus, we'll tell you about a change at the top for the New York Knicks. Follow the journey of the LA Lakers, Vlade Divac, and we'll bring you the top 10 plays of the week.
Manu Ginobili.
He's unstoppable. You cannot believe what we just saw.
Tear up that rim, young fella.
Sensational. Ooh, I'm shaking in my chair.
We begin by taking you into the action in the East as we check in with the defending champion Detroit Pistons.
3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. It's over. It has happened. It's happened, Detroit. You believed in this team, and they have delivered a third NBA World Championship to the Motor City.
After reaching the top of the NBA last year, the Pistons enter this season revved up for the challenge of defending their title.
We come into the situation like we won a championship last year, so everybody expects us to do it. Not all speculation and you got all these guys on the team, but you never won a championship. We won one last year, and we excited. You know, we thrive on that, and you know, we ready to go out and do what we got to do.
There's definitely a lot more pressure. Now we've done it all. Not making it back there really is a failure. You know what I mean? Of course you're not gonna win it every year, but you can try. You know what I mean? You can have your sights set on that, and we do.
But the high expectations quickly faded as the Pistons got off to a slow start, struggling to stay above 500.
So the Pistons' 9-game winning streak against Chicago is going to come to an end here.
The Pistons fall short as they lose to Charlotte. 91-89. Sheed fires at the horn. Notes it. And the Pistons have lost to the Blazers here at home.
When you spend the summer, like I did and our players, where everybody's telling you how great you are, and you know, you get used to hearing that stuff, you forget about why you were successful.
After a 12-12 start, Detroit recaptured its winning formula, which begins with tough defense, and looked like champions once again.
Francis blocked by Rasheed Wallace. Hamilton ahead to Prince, and he throws it down. 2-on-2, now 3-on-2. Belt fills the lane, scores the fight! Rasheed Wallace from straight away for 3. Oh, put home by Ben Wallace.
It's good to be able to crawl back on top, you know, looking at the way our season started, looking at where everybody had us placed, to finally get back to where we know we're comfortable at playing and get to a level basketball where we're comfortable playing. And right now, you can't get too relaxed. Just got to continue to play, got to continue to build.
As the season hits the halfway mark, the Pistons are battling Cleveland for the top spot in the Central Division, but they're not looking too far ahead.
We just got to take it one game at a time. You know, we got some good teams coming in, but, you know, we're starting to play a lot better ourselves. So, you know, we'll just see what happens.
Dick out. Threw it away. Down the floor, McDyess for Hamilton. A catch. Big trail. Oh, he dropped it off to Thompson. Nice backdoor pass. Lindsey Hunter to Richard Hamilton. This is momentarily 5-on-4. T-shot takes it inside.
I see signs, you know, of us getting a little better, and that's good. But we gave away so many home games, you know, early in this year, that we can't afford to, you know, give games away that we're supposed to win.
Prince threw it away. Ben with some hustle. Somehow saved. What a great play by Ben. Phillips for 3. 4-on-2. Lead feed to T-shot. Here's Hamilton digging. Hamilton score. At the buzzer.
One big difference on this year's team is the addition of veteran forward Antonio McDyess, who brings experience in low-post scoring.
And we've added Antonio McDyess, who has, for the last 3 years, not really been healthy and hasn't had a chance to really prove himself again.
Phillips darts inside. Nice dish to an open McDyess. Antonio scores. Rebound to Hamilton. Up the back of Ditka. To McDyess! Oh. Lindsey sneaks inside. Reverses too high. McDyess on foul.
I mean, when I step on the court, I just this 1 minute and 30 minutes. I was just willing to go out there and give my body 100%. If that's defense, scoring, or whatever. But mentally, I just want to be there for the guys and, help them.
The latest new face is point guard Carlos Arroyo, acquired last week in a trade with Utah as the Pistons gear up for another run at the title.
It's a great situation that you always want to be in. You want to be the team that everybody's shooting for. We work so hard to get to this point. Come out each and every night and show people why we're champions.
You're watching NBA action on Fox Sports Net. Now we take you back into the action for a look at one of the top teams in the West, the Sacramento Kings.
Let's see the starting five for your Sacramento Kings.
Our team feels we can beat anybody. Now we have to go out and prove that, but there's no doubt that we have the ingredients to win a championship.
Weber coming down the line. Look out, ball! Oh, boy!
Obviously, this team has a talent, but just go out there and play the game.
But against Carmelo Anthony and the Nuggets, the Kings were minus the injured Chris Webber, and Denver looked to take full advantage.
And the lob to Martin. Like the Nugget thought process of going inside this depleted Kings front line.
Without their usual inside presence, the Kings took their game outside with Mike Bibby and Peja Stojakovic.
Stojakovic about a 25-footer, good. Bibby for three. Communication when you come out on D. I got Peja, I got Bibby. Find those two players.
Peja and Mike combined for 45 points, while rookie Kevin Martin had a career-high 17, and the Kings were in control.
Here's Martin. Martin puts it up and put it in the book. And that will do it. Sacramento is going to get the win here, 109-100.
Next up was Utah. While Bibby sat out with a sore ankle, Webber was back as the Kings front court dominated the Jazz.
How about that pass by your power forward? Chris Webber making it look very smooth. What a pass from Barnes to Miller. That will do it. Sacramento beats the Utah Jazz for the second time, 107-93.
Then the Clippers came to town, and the Kings would have their hands full with Elton Brand.
But the Elton Brand show is on track.
Boy, Elton Brand's just a monster down there.
Nobody's able to challenge him at the basket.
But Chris Webber answered the challenge with a season-high 36 points and 10 rebounds.
Oh, what a beautiful move to get around Elton Brand.
See, Webb has definitely got the stroke, and if Clippers keep giving him that shot, he's going to continue to take it. He doesn't have that hang time like he once did, but has the skills to do everything else.
And making his Kings debut, Cuttino Mobley made a big play down the stretch.
Mobley, he knocked it away. Cuttino Mobley. And Cuttino Mobley may have just made the biggest play of this basketball game. And the Kings are going to win this ball game. Sacramento 99, the LA Clippers 95.
Chris Kaman and Elton Brand were seeking revenge 2 nights later when the teams met again in LA.
Blocked by Brand. Blocked by Kaman. Corey Maggette. Watch out, Corey. Oh, the follow by Brand.
With their offense struggling for much of the game, Sacramento finally found the range from outside in the fourth quarter.
Bibby will fire and hit. Stojakovic to the baseline. High archer, good. Webber for three. Bingo.
And once again, newly acquired Cuttino Mobley delivered in the clutch as the Kings held on.
Mobley for three. Bingo! The fans are cheering in Sacramento. The final score, the Kings beat the Clippers 89-83.
Next was Portland with Kings nemesis Nick Van Exel, who scored 30 points and sent the game into overtime.
Nick Van Exel, you're just talking about a guy that just tortures them every time they meet.
He absolutely is a marvel. He is Nick the Quick.
Van Exel, we're tied. Only Nick Van Exel can do that. I'm telling you, Jerry, he's just unbelievable.
But in the OT, Webber scored 8 of his 32 points, leading Sacramento to its 5th consecutive win.
Webber. Yes. Nice pass, Singala to Webber. And Webber making no mistake about that. And it's all over. In overtime, Sacramento, behind Webber's 32, beats the Trailblazers.
2 nights later, LeBron James led the Cavaliers into town with his usual flair.
Look at James corkscrew his way for 2.
But this game would belong to Mike Bibby, who recorded his second career triple-double and helped the Kings hold LeBron to 18 points.
Mike Bibby with the block. Bibby.
Right now, Sacramento just picking them apart.
6 consecutive wins for the Kings. And now, Doug, just 3 games in back of first place. Phoenix, they picked up 5.5 games on the Suns.
We're back with more of NBA TV's NBA action. Time now to log on to NBA.com, where we begin with news of the league's latest coaching change. After 1 year in New York, Hall of Famer Lenny Wilkens has stepped down as coach of the Knicks.
It really is in my best interest to resign my position with the New York Knicks effective immediately. I really wanted to help the New York team get back to being an elite team.
Assistant coach Herb Williams was named to run the team for the rest of the season as the Knicks, who've lost 7 straight games, battle to remain in playoff contention.
We're trying to get back to the way the franchise used to be. We want to win games in the playoffs.
The fan voting continues for this year's All-Star game in Denver, and 8-time All-Star Shaquille O'Neal of the Heat remains the top vote-getter in the Eastern Conference.
Shaq with his first slam dunk.
Meantime, New Jersey's Vince Carter leads the way among Eastern Conference forwards.
Alley-oop. Carter with a big slam.
And the number 1 guard in the East is LeBron James of the Cleveland Cavaliers.
LeBron James with strength on into the rack.
What a play! You're talking about a highlight.
The NBA's leading vote-getter with over 2 million ballots is Houston Rockets center Yao Ming.
There's Yao. It's just too easy.
And while Yao tops the centers in the West, the leader among forwards is the league's reigning MVP, Kevin Garnett of the Timberwolves.
Greenwell to Garnett. Kevin working baseline, slams it home.
Kevin outside the arc. What a quarter for Kevin. Crossover lever drive and a slam.
And the Rockets' Tracy McGrady has the most votes at the guard position.
Down to 5, down to 4. McGrady at the buzzer. Yeah! Here's McGrady, top of the key with it. Jacobson on it. He's going right to the hole. Scoops it up with the left hand and scores. Only superstars can make that shot.
Finally, the league's smallest player, Earl Boykins, earned a big place in history when he led Denver past Seattle in overtime.
Boykins in the paint, leans in, scores.
Earl came out on fire in the extra session.
And the Boykins pull up Jay. 4-point lead for Denver.
He hit one huge shot after another.
99-97 count. Boykins fires a 3 off the pick, and he hit it. Earl Boykins with a courageous 3-pointer.
Boykins set an NBA record with 15 points in overtime.
Boykins one-on-one on Rednauer to the baseline. Turned outside, reverse pivot, the okey-doke, double pump, laid it in. Earl Boykins has it all going tonight.
Time now for more of NBA TV's NBA action. Now a look at Vlade Divac, who came to Los Angeles from Europe and now has come full circle in this week's timeout.
I was 12 when I started playing basketball. I remember when I signed my first contract here in Belgrade. My father would ask me, are those people are crazy? Do they know that you're going to play basketball even though if they don't pay you? I say, that's why you're not my agent.
After 7 years as a Laker, Vlade left L.A. in 1996.
It was a great experience for me being in Los Angeles, but I was traded by the Lakers to Charlotte for Kobe Bryant. It was the hardest thing, I believe, still in my career. It was something that I was almost close to retire. It was the first time that something didn't go my way. I remember Kurt Rambis told me, it always hurts first time. And after that, he was right.
After 2 productive years in Charlotte, Vlade's career took off thanks to a return trip to California.
When you talk about Sacramento, it's my best 6 years of my career.
When I finally made my decision to come here, I knew we were going to make something happen.
You know, loving playing, in Arc Arena in front of those fans up there because they're supporting their team no matter what.
And Vlade needed that support during his first season with the Kings, especially during the 1999 playoffs when war was raging in his homeland of Yugoslavia.
It's already been well documented about Vlade Divac's concern over his parents and brother in Yugoslavia, but he has been playing like a warrior.
The worst period of my life. It was very tough, thinking of what's going to happen to your family or friends, and at the same time, you try to concentrate and play basketball. It was very tough. That's when you realize what kind of team you have. In the tough times and in good times, you have to stay together and do the best you can to help each other.
Despite losing in the playoffs, the Kings were gaining a new image thanks to Vlade. He helped Sacramento become a top destination for international players coming to the NBA.
Paige and me, and later, Hedo, it was an international team, and people just loved it, the way we play. We shared the ball, we were, just having fun on the floor.
From 2000 on, the Kings went from doormats to dominant. And ironically for Vlade, they became rivals with his once beloved Lakers.
Go Kings! Beat LA! Beat LA!
Kings and Lakers. It was a special time, in my career. When you look at the schedule, you were looking, when you're going to play against the Lakers.
Bibby has the open shot.
The fact that he was as outspoken as he was kind of loosened some of the attachments with the Laker fans here. And those were some intense playoff series.
Vlade was a guy that antagonized Shaquille. Vlade was a guy who basically talked back when Shaquille had something to say bad about Sacramento. Vlade was the one that said Rabadore's shot was luck, which was really funny because, it really wasn't luck. It was a great shot.
Ball tipped out to Oria, straight on three. Good! The Lakers have won!
Obviously, we were on the other side, losing, a couple times against them when we needed to win, but we were a great team.
When you think about how close the Kings came, I'm sure that was a bitter pill for him to swallow.
After 2002, Sacramento did not get back to the Western Conference Finals. And 2 years later, Vlade's reign as a King came to an end.
It was important for me to finish my career as a Kings. It didn't happen. I felt sad when I made the decision to leave, but it's always going to be in my heart.
Vlade has been the one constant, in all these years when you think about it, with the Kings, with the Lakers, even with Charlotte, with Shaquille coming here, with Kobe still being here. Imagine that. He was traded so they could get the rights to Kobe. Now all of a sudden he comes back and they're teammates. How often does that happen in this NBA?
Welcome back to NBA TV's NBA Action. Time now for the top 10 plays of the week in our NBA TV Countdown. At number 10, the Rockets turn to Scott Padgett for the game winner against the Knicks.
Goes to the hoop with 5. Goes outside with 3. Goes to Padgett with 1. A running one, and it goes! And the Rockets steal it at the buzzer.
At 9 is Portland rookie Sebastian Telfair with this behind-the-back dish.
Telfair found Chris Villa, who thumped it home.
At number 8 is the Spurs' Manu Ginobili, whirling his way inside for the bucket.
Manu Ginobili.
In at number 7, there was just no stopping the Kings' Maurice Evans.
By the Blazers after that three.
Oh, boy, if you don't like that, you don't like NBA
basketball. Oh, boy.
At 6, it's Manu Ginobili once again as he draws a crowd and kicks it out.
Ginobili slicing in the lane. Oh. Kevin Brown for 3. Oh, what basketball.
At 5 from the same game, Sean Marion saves the day for the Suns.
Marion has to put up the 3. Put it in at the buzzer. He ties the game.
Coming in at number 4, how about an encore from Manu Ginobili?
Here's Ginobili. Oh, my, what a play by Manu Ginobili. That was spectacular.
At number 3 is the Lakers' Caron Butler going for a spin in L.A.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Stop it. Good night. Caron Butler says, come get some now.
At number 2 is a dazzling dish from Allen Iverson to Kenny Thomas.
Looks like a cavalry charge in blue. The flip to Thomas by AI.
Fancy. The fake behind the back pass and keep it to the right side.
And at number 1, it's LeBron James blazing a trail through Portland.
LeBron James has just stepped off his 9th rebound of the night. James off the spin. Isn't that gorgeous from LeBron James? Wheeling to the hole and delivering with the left hand.
That's our show for this week. Thanks for watching. Last week,